Hey guys, just wanted to make you a video real quick on the new CIS shell. I know we're cutting it really close to the last minute, and so I wanted to be able to get you this video to reassure you that the core shell is very close to what it looked like before, and we will have unique shells here to be able to distribute tomorrow. They had started on them tonight, but they aren't all complete, and I wanted to do that at the same time. So I'm going to show you the shell as it will look in our instance of Canvas, and then I'll show you some of the Cirrus tools and whatnot, and how easy it's going to be for the students. So again, this is just logging into the portal, and students are going to come into the course, and it's going to look just like any other Canvas course. And you'll notice, and again, we're using modules as the home page, and so as you scroll down, you'll see, like, I need to do that video. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. There's a few things I'm going to update, but so we'll have a welcome video, and this is for all of the students that take the course. They'll click on that video first, and it'll give them an introduction to Canvas, how to navigate, what's expected of them in the course, and I'll show them as well how to use some of the Cirrus content. We have the syllabus. The instructor information section, of course, is for you to go in and put in your own information. You can copy and paste this from your last course shell if you want, and paste it into here. I wouldn't recommend trying to import into here. The next section here is the required textbooks, and it's kind of a little blurb about the textbooks, and then we have and this is where the students will be able to purchase the actual printed copy of the textbooks for $10, and by tomorrow I'll have the link where that site is. Now then below here are the actual textbooks, and so when they pay their course fee, they are paying for access to the books and the Cirrus content, but there is no code. They don't have to wait for an email. They don't have to register anywhere. They just will get into the class, and everything is here. The textbooks are here in ebook format, and the Cirrus content is all here. There's nothing for them to have to retype or re-register or anything like that. Now, what I did here, what you're looking at, is just I exported from the Cirrus, or from Paradigm's Canvas instance. I just exported from here and imported back into the core shell. But again, this shell doesn't have the LTI integration set up yet, and what we're going to do is we're going to create an LTI integration unique to each faculty, and you can use the same shell that you're given for all your sections of CIS1, and when you make changes to any of the Cirrus content in one of your shells, it'll change them for the others, in terms of how long you want them to be able to take to complete the assignments, how many times you want them to be able to complete it, points and things like that, which is nice. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Paradigms instance, because in our instance the links for the textbooks and the Cirrus content doesn't work because I haven't got the unique shell yet, but they do here. So basically they're gonna click on this link, and it's gonna open up the textbook in a new tab, and so this is the ebook here, and it has every page in it exactly like they would see in the printed textbook. Okay, and they can go through here and read. They can read on their phone, they can read on their laptop, whatever they want to do. And the other textbook is right below it here, and again it opens in a new tab, and here is the textbook right here. So, and you have the cover and all that, so everything's here. Okay, so those are the ebooks, and they'll be able to keep them open in a tab while they do the work or while they read or whatever. We've updated most of the content here, like the software requirements, right? It talks about, hey, you need a computer. The students, the great thing about using Cirrus is the students can use a Chromebook, they can use a MacBook, they can use a Windows PC, they can use maybe a tablet, but I'm not recommending that until I see how it works. Maybe one of you guys could try it. Because when they open up the Cirrus content, they're actually opening up a virtual machine on the cloud. They don't need to have Windows or Office installed on the device that they're using. Which is nice, and I'll show you that here in a second. So we've updated this information here. We've included the tech support link for the Cirrus content, and we've provided that information here in case they have any issues. They shouldn't. There's no codes. There shouldn't be any authentication issues. It should just work. Okay, and then we go down to the modules, and again, this is the same setup, same organization as the last core shell that we created for everyone. So we have one module for the introduction, then we start with a module for each chapter, and so here's the Living in a Digital World, the first chapter of the Computer Concepts book. Discussion, and then here are the content from Cirrus. Okay, right here, and they're all assignments. They're given points, except for this one. This one's just a review, like definitions and whatnot. But all these have points. The grade book's already set up. All the points are and weights are all done properly. So let's look at this first one here. And you'll notice that these are labeled as 1.0, 1.4, and this is the section 1.4 from the textbook. So let's click on, oops, I forgot, I haven't done the LTI, so let me go over to here, the Cirrus side here. Let's click on Living in a Digital World, and here we have the video, and then there's some content to read. And so I'll just click continue here, and this is kind of what it looks like for, and then a little quiz. So this is kind of what it looks like for us. It'll look like a little bit different for the students. So we have some video.
The Computer Concepts video series for the
that they'll watch, and then they can click on some of the content, and they open up in a new window. Okay, and they'll go through that, and they'll get their 10 points for going through there. When they're done, they can hit the next button at the bottom if they want, and it'll bring them to the next section. And again, video and a couple of little quiz questions about the video. Okay, so a lot of rich content and some assessments to make sure they're getting everything. And again, video, and they can click the next button at the bottom if they want, take them to the next section, and drag this into the screen here. Okay, so that is what the Computer Concepts content will look like. So instead of just having them read a chapter and then take a quiz, we have some content for them to look at and make sure that they are absorbing and learning that content. So these are the different activities, and then we have the topics review, which is just kind of like definitions of the concepts and everything that we went over in this chapter. And then they will have the quiz, which is multiple choice quiz taken from chapter 1, and then just like regular quizzes that we had before. Okay, so that's what, and all of the concepts chapters will look very similar to this. So we'll have sometimes we'll have a video or kind of an overview. Sometimes we'll have a participation assignment. We'll all have some sort of assignment and then a quiz. Right, now once we get to the application section, now the application section, using the old book and Snap, they still needed to download Office, have access to Windows, download the student data files, save all their files in the right place on their thumb drive, and so this one shouldn't be that hard. And so what we've done here is we've focused on the activities in the book. So in the textbook, and the textbook is formatted just like, hopefully you can hear me because my mouth isn't next to the microphone. Hopefully that's better. I'll check that, make sure that you can hear here. Technical difficulties. Okay, so just like the old textbook where the students would go to the Word section 1 and go to the first activity. Let me open that section of the book. They'd go to activity 1.1 and they would follow here step by step and do those things. So what we want to do is kind of automate this a little bit so that they would be able to do this in the cloud, in the VM, and they wouldn't have to download anything. So what we're doing is we've actually broken up this activity 1.1 into little chunks, and those chunks are called tutorials right here. And so this first guy right here, says open a blank document, and so the first tutorial that we'll find in here, and when they open it up, is opening a blank document. And so they're going to go through each one of these activities. I guess I can put this book now. And as they complete all the tutorials in activity 1.1, it'll then take them to the next activity. And so here's what it'll look like for them. Let me make sure my window is size so you can see it here. Okay, so here's some
Open
instructions.
a blank document from the Word opening screen. 1. Click the Start button.
Okay, so it gives them instructions.
2. Click the Word tile.
Word tile.
3. Click the blank document template.
Here's the blank document
Open a blank
template.
document from the new Backstage area. 4. Click the File tab.
Click the File tab.
5. Click the New option.
Click New.
6. Click the blank document template.
And click blank document template.
Congratulations! You have completed the guide section.
That's very loud.
Now practice and develop mastery by going to the practice section.
Okay, so now for every one of those tutorials, it shows the student how to do it. Well, kind of gives them step by step, right? They still have to do all the clicking, and then they practice.
Open a blank document from the new Backstage area.
Okay, so now we're given a task, and they have to remember how to do it. So I'm going to go to the Backstage area, New, and blank document.
Congratulations! You have completed the practice section.
I've completed it. Okay, now I can hit close, and it brings me to the next tutorial in that series. Okay, and then I can
Display
continue.
the backstage area and then
Now-
redisplay the document.
And if
1.
you
Click the File tab.
book file,
2. Click the Back button. Save the document. 3. Click the Save button. Display the options and buttons on the Insert tab. 4. Click the Insert tab. Congratulations! You have completed the guide section. Now
Okay.
practice and develop mastery by going to the practice section.
so this is exploring the word screen. So kind of gives them a kind of an idea of how to explore the different tabs. And
Display
again,
the backstage area and save the document. Display.
and they can do that really fast. They don't have to
You have
wait
completed
for
the
those
practice.
instructions, and then they can go on to the next one. Okay, so that's what the activities or the activities guide and practice tutorials look like. And we used to have like one link for each one of those tutorials. So each activity would have, some of them would have like 8 links, but this is what has kind of taken a little bit longer to get our shell ready, is though that was too many links, and so we asked them to combine all of those guide and practice tutorials into at the most 2 links for that section. And so that's what they've done, and they had to have their development team make some changes. But we felt like it was better for the student to have less of these links on the screen, so they wouldn't be overwhelmed. I mean, it still has a lot of links because we go through all 3 sections, but it's a lot better than what it was. And there we may find ways to make it better. Okay, so once they completed the activities, then they're going to do the exercises, and the exercises are like the skills review that we had as homework assignments in the back of the book, and they are also in the Cirrus. And so they'll open that, and then you'll be able to work on those skills review. Now, before, we had to have them upload these files to the Dropbox and then make sure that they were correct for them to get the points. Here, again, all these scores are recorded automatically. So you can see that right now I haven't done it, so I don't have any grades. But if I go back to the I'm gonna have to hit the modules. If I go back to the activities here, and you'll see that some of them I've completed, and it's scored me on those. So I got a point. This one got a point for that one. And so and these ones haven't been completed yet. So it'll be really easy for the student to see which items they've completed if they come in and they do a part of it, and then they leave and they want to do another one. Everything will be right there. Okay. Go back. So for each section of the application, we have a label for these are the assignments. This is Word section 1. There's the activities and the 2 exercises for them to complete. Go to section 2, all the activities, and we have more exercises. Now, some of these exercises are pretty short, and that's why we've included more in some areas. Again, Word section 3, all the activities and all the exercises. So you can see that in fact, they will not need to have a printed copy of the book, and they won't need to look at the ebook to do these assignments, because it's all in the activities. All the instructions are there. Okay, now we thought about having them do the activities in the with the Cirrus content, and then doing the skills review in the book, but that would mean they would need to have Office 365, a Windows-based PC, the student data files, and all those other challenges and issues that we've had before. So that's why we're looking at doing all of this in Cirrus. I really think it'll be better for the student to not have to worry about having the correct software, the correct computer. You know, I don't know how long I spent with one of my students on the phone. She's telling me she's trying to install Windows or Office on her laptop. She kept calling it a laptop, and I tell her, well, you're going to have to bring it in. She brings it in, and it's a Chromebook, and she didn't know the difference. She's like, well, I don't know what that means. You know, it gets me on the internet, and I can look at Facebook and Pinterest and do my email and get to the class. And so, and with the cost of Chromebooks, I think it's a really good option. Okay, so then we go down to another chapter in the concepts book, and again, you can see all these activities are labeled with 2 for chapter 2, chapter 3, and then we have the Excel section, activities, exercises in each section, all the way through every chapter in the book with every application. Now, the only difference we have is with PowerPoint, and I say that because we did keep a little bit of the old assignment. So we have the activities and the exercises for section 1, section 2, activities and exercises, and then instead of section 3, we have them still build their own PowerPoint and still present that PowerPoint. Now, if they're a hybrid class and they meet on campus, they'll present that to the class. If they are an online student, then they will use the PowerPoint presentation forum where the online students will post that. So if you're teaching a hybrid class, then you can delete this part here. Or if you think you might use it later, just click here and click on publish. The students won't even see it. And then you can use the same shell for your online class, and you can publish it for your online class. And that allows the online students interaction with each other. Okay, instead of access, we have some general database and data storage. We'd love some help in building up this section. And then for the course wrap-up, we have the final exam in 2 parts. We have a concepts question, and I think there's 30 or 40 questions from all of the concepts chapters, and then we have a skills exam that has them perform skills from each of the applications that we go over: Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And the concepts is multiple choice, but the skills is done in Cirrus, so they will go into that environment and have to complete those actions in Office. Okay, so that's what the shell looks like. Very similar to how it was before. We're trying to kind of make this not as difficult or hard, really easy to use. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up, and that way I can get it sent out to you guys. But if you have any questions, then text me. My number is 591. No, wait a second. This is going public on YouTube. You know my number. Give me a call or text me if you have any questions. Hopefully you all have a copy of the book. If not, they are in our division office, or maybe in Lou's office, which is in the division office. So yeah, but anyway, I just talked with the publisher. 9:30, just called him at home. He said he would have all of the individual instances done by tomorrow afternoon, and then I will get those sent to your Canvas shell. And so when you log into Canvas and you open your CIS 1 course, it'll be there. It'll be installed already, already imported, already done. So it'll just be right there. Okay. Thanks again. And thanks for your patience. I know it's been, kind of nail biting to get this done, but I really think this is going to be much better for the students to be able to access the content with whatever device they have, as long as they have the internet. So anyway, thanks again, and I'm sure I'll see you tomorrow.